capturing Pokemon in Pokemon GO is a bit different than it is in the main series games, because in Pokemon GO, we light money on fire for the rare Pokemon. Between paid events, hatching eggs, and buying millions of raid passes, getting the good catches can be expensive. This then begs the question, which rare Pokemon are not worth your money and your time? Today we're checking out 25 rare Pokemon in Pokemon GO that you could probably live without. Side note, we're not looking at any legendary or mythical Pokemon today because we'll do that in a future video because that deserves its own video. But let's get in. Starting off in Generation 1, Pokemon number 1, which is really the only Gen 1 that's still kind of rare, Pinsir. The reason why I say kind of rare is because Pinsir was released back on July 6th of 2016 when the game launched. The Shiny came out in November during the Taiwan Safari Zone. The Shadow Shiny released back in February of 2020, and it's been featured in the eggs more as a rare Pokemon. Initially, it was in the 10-kilometer eggs from 2016 to 2017. Then it moved over to the 5-kilometer eggs, and then we were hatching it in the 7-kilometer eggs during the 2020 Kanto Throwback event. But it's just typically a Pokemon that's either in raids, field research, or you have to battle team leaders in order to find the Shadow Shiny version of it. It's kind of hard to find, and it's just not that good.
2 hours later.
And I just remembered that it actually has a Mega form, which means that it might be useful in the future. That's a terrible way to start the video, sorry. Okay, but Pokemon number 2 is a different story, and it's from Generation 2, Gligar. Gligar is a fun Pokemon. It was released back in February of 2017. And the infamous Shadow Shiny was released back in November of 2021. I still don't have one. It's had boosted hatch rates in about 7 separate events, and it's been in the Tier 1 and Tier 3 raids in Pokemon GO. And I actually was lucky enough to catch the Shiny version of it, like back when the Shiny came out. This was years ago. Now, obviously Gligar, I mean, it's rare, but like, obviously it's useless because it's not an evolution. Well, it's evolution Glysaur, which you need a Sinnoh Stone to evolve to, is also, unfortunately, pretty useless in the game. It's a great shiny, it's a cool Pokemon. It's not really useful. You're not gonna use it for much. Number 3, Miltank. Miltank is a funny story because obviously it's useless. It doesn't even provide any real milk, which is just wild. It just sits there with its udders flapping all over the place. And yet, it's still considered a rare spawn. It's in the raids when it comes to events, and people grind the raids, not for the milk, but for the blue milk. Miltank, although very useless in game, has a great shiny, honestly, and I did get it myself while I was playing Minecraft on stream, and that was lit. I will say I have spent way too much money raiding this thing. Whenever this comes back to raids, I always buy raid passes for it. Again, not because it's useful in game, just because the shiny's so good. Number 4 is a twofer with Tyrogue and Hitmontop. Tyrogue has been around in the eggs since the extravaganza of 2017, but it is a baby Pokemon, which therefore means it is egg only. The only way to get Tyrogue in Pokemon GO is by being lucky enough to hatch it. It does have a shiny form which was released during the Johto tour in February, and myself and many others have spent a lot of money trying to hatch the Tyrogue for the shiny. But obviously with this being a baby Pokemon, like, it doesn't really do anything in game. And then Hitmontop, one of its evolutions, is sort of a similar story, except you could find Hitmontop in the wild, and actually recently I've been seeing it spawn a lot more than usual, but it typically has been a very, very rare spawn. And although it has a pretty good shiny, it's just, you don't ever use this in Pokemon GO. It's just not useful. Moving on to Generation 3, with Pokemon number 5, Nosepass, which is kind of an annoying Pokemon because not only is the shiny really hard to get, but the evolution of Nosepass, which is Probopass, is also actually really difficult because you have to use an electric type lure, an electric lure, in order to evolve to get Probopass in your Pokedex, which isn't cheap. You have to spend like 200 Pokecoins on a special lure just to evolve the Probopass, and Probopass is useless. I also will say, unfortunately, I've never caught the shiny, and it has been released since March of 2021, so still looking for that one. Pokemon number 6 brings us to this drunken madman, Spinda. Spinda is especially rare because it is a research-only Pokemon, which means you can only get it through research, and it's been released since August of 2018, so it has been around for a while. Although it was released in raids once, during an event once, back in the day, which I did get a shiny from, but I don't know if I ever uploaded the clip of it happening. but I have it. Here he is, this Spinda, caught in January of 2021. As you can see, caught him in a Premier Bowl back when he was in raids. And I burned a lot of freaking Pokecoins on raid passes for Spinda. Now, although the shiny is very sought after, the Pokemon itself is not good, probably because the Pokemon is drunk. Okay, number 7, Chimecho. Chimecho has been in Pokemon GO since 2018, and looking in my Pokedex, I've only ever seen 159 of them. These are ridiculously rare. And historically, this has been a 10-kilometer egg Pokemon, which is why it's so rare. And the shiny version of it was released during Pokemon Go Fest, which I did catch. And also, for some reason, it has like a weirdly high max CP, like 2200. It's pretty good, but it just, what typing is this? It's a psychic. You're never gonna use this in game. Now we jump on over to Generation 4, starting with one of my favorite Pokemon from the generation when it comes to shinies in my collection personally, Mime Jr. This little freak is obviously rare because it's been in game since 2019, but not only is it an egg-only Pokemon, but it is a regional egg-only Pokemon, one of the only regional hatches. If you want to hatch a Mime Jr., you need to get a 5-kilometer egg from Europe. And for that reason, it is obviously a very hard Pokemon to get, although I was able to hatch some during, actually, Shink's Calm Day, where I got the freaking shiny. Now on to some more spooky vibes. Number 9, Spiritomb. This spooky boy was released back during the Halloween event of 2018, and every single person got one and only one encounter with it through special research only. And then it came back again in 2019, same deal, special research, one encounter. But during the 2020 Halloween event, it was released in field research with the shiny, which I got. And what makes Spiritomb so obviously rare is the fact that it is a seasonal Pokemon, which means it only comes around during the Halloween season each and every year. But it is way more scary than it is useful in game, so you really don't need, I've never even looked at my Spiritomb unless I'm just flexing the shiny. And as we move into Generation 5, there's one steady theme throughout this generation. 12-kilometer eggs. Suck eggs. Number 10 on the list is the Pokemon Sandile. Sandile is extremely rare because it was released back in October of 2020 exclusively in 12-kilometer eggs, where it has found its permanent home since. Which means technically if you want to hatch this Pokemon guaranteed, you have to spend a lot of money battling the Team Go Rocket leaders, buying the rocket radars, and then spend even more money on incubators to hatch the 12-kilometer eggs. You can obviously do this free to play, but it just takes so long. And the only way to obtain a Sandile outside of 12-kilometer eggs is through the level 45 challenge in Pokemon Go on part 4. I think one of the final phases of the level 45 challenge, you actually get a free encounter with a Sandile. But one single encounter will not give you enough candy to evolve all the way over to its 3rd stage evolution of Crocodile, which doesn't matter because the Pokemon doesn't do anything in game, so you don't really need it. Number 11 is one of my worst nightmares and worst memories when it comes to Pokemon Go. Galarian Yamask. I just hate everything. I hate everything when I think about this Pokemon. The year was 2020.
Research? So now would be a good time. Yeah, I'm saying hit me with it. Oh, that's it. Oh, it's not a shiny, but it's the Galarian Yamask. No way. Wow, okay, that's my first time ever seeing. Are we done with the quest? I'm a little confused here.
5 minutes later.
I just did something that I can't believe. Actually, I don't know when I did it. Look at my recents. Really cool, right? Notice anything missing? Notice anything not there? I transferred the Galarian Yamask.
What you just witnessed was the only time Galarian Yamask has ever been released into Pokemon Go. Until 2021, where it was released in 7-kilometer eggs, which I refused to keep one out of spite and hatred and anger for what happened in whenever that other clip, 2020. This is definitely one of the more rare Pokemon in the game, just because it's seasonal. It only comes around, it only really came out fully during 2021, but luckily for all of us, they suck. Rightfully so, after ruining my life for about 12 months. Next is quite possibly the cutest Pokemon on our list today, Emolga. Emolga was released back in 2020 as a wild spawn and in the 7-kilometer eggs, but looking at my Pokedex, I've only ever encountered 34 of this little squirrel. This Pokemon, for whatever reason, is ridiculously rare. It's been around in 5-kilometer eggs, 10-kilometer eggs, and in the wild, but it doesn't evolve, it doesn't do anything. And it only maxes out, if I were to max this one out, it'd max out at like 1800 CP. What am I gonna do with this? Unlucky number 13 is Klink. Klink is a tragedy, honestly. Klink is like a Shinx in a way, but just so much worse. Klink's been in Pokemon GO since 2019. It is a very rare Pokemon because it has been locked behind a paywall ever since it came out. Klink has been exclusively in 1-star raids and 10-kilometer eggs since release. There is no other way to get the Pokemon. Cool part about Klink was that the shiny variant of it was released in 2019 when the Pokemon was released. I love when they do that. And you'd think that a Pokemon that is for 4 years, you'd think that it would be useful if it's just paywalled the entire time. But no, its evolution Klinklang is garbage. It is not a good electric type attacker and not really worth grinding for, especially the shiny's good though. It's a golden shiny, I like that. But like, it's not good for meta, it's not good for raids, it's not good for PvP. That's unfortunate. And speaking of PvP, number 14 is a very PvP focused Pokemon, Mindfu. Mindfu's cool because it was released exclusively in PvP in May of 2021. You were only able to catch one by defeating enough people in PvP to encounter it through that system. And it was also available in Season 9 of PvP and in 10-kilometer eggs since September of 2021. So you no longer have to PvP to get it, but it's still very rare. And ironically, for a Pokemon that is a 10-kilometer egg Pokemon and a PvP, really almost exclusive Pokemon, you'd think that this evolution of it would be a great PvP battler. It's not. Looking at Mindshao's PvP ranks, it's just hot garbage, unfortunately. But it is really cool looking, so I'll give it that. And speaking of cool looking, number 15, Druddigon is a fun... Oh, I've got memories with this one. Druddigon came out during the Dragon Spiral Descent event of December 2021, and it's been inside of the Tier 3 raids since. It is the only way to get Druddigon in your Pokedex through Tier 3 raids. And actually, during the release of this Pokemon, we did do like a little raid shiny challenge for it, which was pretty cool. Shiny Druddigon, let's go. 1519 CP, shiny Druddigon, finally getting this guy. I'm gonna try something. Ooh, should I do this? I'm a professional. We're gonna back out of the raid. We're gonna go into the Pokedex. Oh my god, this is risky. We're gonna go into Kalos. It's Unova. We're gonna check this. This is raid 36. Druddigon raid 36, scene 36. We're gonna go back into here and I'm a dang professional, man. It's what I do. It's a cool dragon, it's raid only, it's got a fun shiny, but unfortunately, in the dragon type meta, it just doesn't stack up at all. Pawniard! Pokemon number 16. Pawniard is another example of 12-kilometer eggs suck eggs. It was released back in October of 2020 in the 12-kilometer egg pool, and it has not left since. It is very rare because 12-kilometer eggs are very expensive to hatch. And its evolution, Bisharp, is pretty cool looking and has a cool looking shiny, but doesn't do anything in game, which is a huge L because it's a 12-kilometer egg Pokemon. So rip there. This next one might ruffle some feathers. Number 17 is Rufflet. The release of Rufflet was another PvP release. Actually, during Season 1 of Go Battle League, trainers had to reach rank 7 in order to encounter Rufflet, which is pretty cool. Since then, it's been featured in more Go Battle League seasons, in field research, in eggs, in raids. It's been all over the place, but most famously, those freaking raids. Cruise ship.
I would pass for now.
We got it!
Tom?
We got the shiny Rufflet! Oh my god!
Oh my.
Oh, it exists! It's not locked!
Rufflet is really popular because of the shiny, which, in my opinion, is not that great of a shiny, but everyone loves it, everyone wants it, and I myself have spent probably over $100 on raids for Rufflet raids to get the shiny. And I myself, though, I will say, I do have 4 shinies. As you can see here, you know, we just flexing them shinies, baby. And Braviary, great shiny, really cool looking Pokemon, but it's just not really useful in game and probably not worth the several $100s in raid passes that I've used on it. And we've made it to Generation 6 with Pokemon number 18, Pancham. Pancham's an interesting Pokemon because it was actually released in May of 2021 in Tier 1 raids. And it was available in those raids for exactly 7 days before it moved on over to 12-kilometer eggs, where it has not left since. Fun fact, Pancham is one of the only non-legendary Pokemon to be released exclusively in raids. And although it's super cool, it's actually super duper rare, and its evolution, Pangoro, is cool. It's just not, it doesn't do anything in Pokemon Go. And number 19 is another very raid-focused Pokemon, Esper. Esper has been released in Pokemon Go since November of 2020, and it has never once been in the wild. It's been exclusive to 10-kilometer eggs, 1-star raids, and field research since the release. It is a very, very exclusive, hard-to-get Pokemon. And the shiny actually dropped a couple months ago, and I was lucky enough to get 3 of them. I don't know why, my luck with Esper was ridiculous. And I love my shiny Meowstic that I spent actually a lot of money getting, but I mean, it's got low CP. 2300 is not that low, but compared to other Psychic-type Pokemon, this just isn't that useful. And number 20, Helioptile. This fun little lizard was released earlier this year in January. During its release event, it had apparently boosted wild spawns, but dude, I didn't find any of them. And I know that actually a lot of people were complaining during this event because it was so hard to find in the wild. It was so rare. I myself, oh my God, I almost lost my I've only ever seen 26 of them personally, and it had an event where, again, it was spawning more frequently in the wild. Only 26. And in order to evolve it over to Heliolisk here, it does take 50 candies and a sunstone. So it's kind of a difficult evolution to get, especially when you could like never find it in the wild. But Heliolisk, I mean, look how cool that is. It's really cool. It's so useless. Cool but useless. That's a great theme for the next Pokemon, Noibat. Noibat, it's an awesome Pokemon. I'll give it that. I love it. It was released back in December of 2020, but it was stupid rare to find. Like if you saw it on your nearby, you got up and went and got it. And it was released in the wild then, and it is still in the wild to this day. But you could also get it in 10-kilometer eggs, where it has also been since release. And there is one and only one way to get it guaranteed, and that's by beating Pokemon Go. In part 4 of the level 50 challenge, you do get a guaranteed Noibat encounter, which is super duper great. But again, this is, you know, it's the level 50 challenge. It's beating the game, you get your Noibat. I will say to evolve to Noivern, it costs a whopping 400 candies. I have never even evolved to Noivern. I don't even have it in my Pokedex yet because I refuse to spend rare candies on it, because Noivern, unfortunately, as a dragon type or a flying type, just isn't that good. And for number 22, we throw it back to the spooky season vibes with Pumpkaboo, which was released during Halloween of 2021 in the wild in 7-kilometer eggs and Tier 1 raids. This was a pretty rare Pokemon, and it was really only available during that specific event, and it's been like MIA ever since. I have not seen one since that event. It's another example of like a seasonal Halloween exclusive type Pokemon. And if you want to evolve it over to Gorgeist, it costs 200 candies, or you can actually trade them, and then it's a free evolution. But either way, it's a hard Pokemon to get, and it just doesn't do anything. It's not a useful thing in game. And we're off to Generation 7 with, I'm so sad that this is number 23 on the list. I'm sad this Pokemon is even on the list because of the amount of money I've spent on raid passes for it. But number 23, Rockruff. This is like a fan favorite Pokemon just because its evolutions are so freaking cool, and the shiny of it is so good, and Rockruff is so cute. And the shiny, by the way, was released with the Pokemon, which was released back in March of this year. It's a relatively new Pokemon, and it is an absolute cash cow for Niantic. Even to this day, months after its release, I still consistently get raid invites for Rockruff. This is a very popular Pokemon that a lot of people are willing to spend money to raid. It's also been available in 10-kilometer eggs, Tier 1 raids, obviously, and rank 16, actually, of the Go Battle League Interlude season. You can encounter it through that. And I literally have 4 shinies because I'm addicted and I can't stop raiding them. And when this Pokemon came out, we did do a fun little challenge where we found ourselves the shiny.
Bang! It's shiny Rockruff. That's so good. Wait, one more time. Wait for it. Bang! Shiny Rockruff. Let's go. I gotta catch this before we get because we're driving right now, so I don't want the speed to affect our ability to catch this thing. Dude, this is so great.
But again, unfortunately for this Pokemon, its evolutions just are not that good in game, although they are very cool. And in my opinion, they're worth rating, okay? I'm not gonna stop spending money on that. One thing I can stop spending money on is number 24, Salandit. Salandit was just recently released like weeks ago, super duper rare, exclusively in 12-kilometer eggs. And the really annoying part about Salandit is that if you want to evolve to its evolution Salazzle, which I don't even think I have in the Pokedex yet, you need to hatch a female Salandit. Only the females evolve. So not only is this Pokemon very difficult to get just because it's locked in 12-kilometer eggs, which are just hard to grind, but you also have to be lucky enough to hatch the female version, which you can then evolve over to Salazzle. Again, I don't think that I have Salazzle in my Pokedex yet. And trust me, I have tried to hatch the female, as shown by my video where I went to see how much money it costed to hatch ourselves the brand new Pokemon, and I didn't even get the female. Roughly, it's gonna be a little bit less because I also buy in the hundreds and not in the ones because ballin'. No, so let's just say roughly about $19 to hatch the brand new Pokemon here in Pokemon GO as part of the Rocket Update. And really enough, as wildly rare as Salazzle is in Pokemon GO, it really has no usage whatsoever. And we've finally arrived at the Galar region for Pokemon number 25, quite possibly the most infamous Pokemon when it comes to stealing your money for no good reason. It's Mr. Crime. And Galarian Mr. Crime. This is the most controversial Pokemon ever in Pokemon GO. It was released back in December of 2020 during the Tap Tap Tappity Tap event. That sound, by the way, was Mr. Rhyme taking all of your money. And the reason why this Pokemon is so controversial is because it was locked behind an $8 US paid in-game event. And the event was just not worth $8. Both forms of it, Galarian and normal, literally suck. Like, there's no use for them. But no worries, because they both were released for free twice, actually, during the 2021 Pokemon GO holiday event, where, you could get 2 encounters, I think, or 4 encounters. I think it was 4 encounters, 2, 3? You get a bunch of them. And I think technically the most each account can have without trading is like 5 of them. So they're pretty rare. Legend says it, Mr. Crime is still siphoning Pokecoins from unsuspecting trainers to this day. And those are the top 25 most useless rare Pokemon in Pokemon GO. Obviously get them in your Pokedex. If you want to shiny hunt them, hey, I'd do it. But you don't really need them because they're not going to impact your gameplay that much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments, what was your favorite Pokemon from this list of 25? And I'll see you all in tomorrow's episode. Peace out.
I didn't get that.
Dude, shut up.